Many of you own a smartphone? How many of you used Google Maps or another navigation application to find this building? Did anyone listen to the song Spotify suggested on the walk into the building? According to a website called Pega, consumers use more AI than they realize. While only 33% think they actually use AI-enabled technology, 77% use an artificial intelligence powered service or device. Artificial intelligence is among us. We just need to accept it and figure out how to use this very complicated technology to better our lives and the ones around us. Today, I want to help you understand the different forms of artificial intelligence and the benefits or repercussions we'll see in our lifetime. My name is Blake Martin, and I have been researching hierarchical learning or artificial intelligence since about 2010. Since 2010, there has been huge leaps in this instance for how we gather data and information on certain things compared to now, which is 2018. 8 years ago, I don't think anyone would have thought that we would be where we are today, which is pretty crazy to think about. It's only 8 years. In this speech, I will cover the 4 types of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence that we encounter day to day. Reactive machines is the first category that I'll go over. Limited memory systems is the second. Theory of mind would be the third. And lastly, self-awareness. To begin, according to Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science dealing with the simulation of intelligent behavior in computers, which also have knowledge. They're able to gain knowledge that hasn't been coded into their system. In the first part of this speech, I will define reactive machines and provide some examples of these. Reactive machines are known to be the most basic form of artificial intelligence. These computers are strictly driven based on current events and how they respond to them. Reactive intelligence is programmed to not allow the machine to base responses from previous events or memories that have occurred. An example of reactive machinery is IBM. They built a computer or a machine. Its name was Deep Blue. It only had one job, and it was to play chess. This computer was able to evaluate every move available based on the competitor's previous move, and it would basically go through and analyze every possible outcome and what the possibilities of winning were. Deep Blue was never capable of remembering the outcomes of previous games, but it was able to react on the competitor's movements. Now that you know what a reactive machine is capable of, let's move on to limited memory-based machines. Limited learning software is one of the more recent advances in artificial intelligence. Limited learning grants the capability for the computer to investigate the past events. For example, Tesla's self-driving cars are an impressive limited learning machine. They are considered limited learning because they are capable of capturing speeds and distances of other vehicles and observe the center lanes to execute the decision to pass or not to pass. One serious safety issue to consider when you're buying a new car, and if you're considering a smart car, these cars do not have the memory capacity to remember all of the curves, the dips, the potholes, construction zones. Humans are able to develop certain safety reactions for various road hazards, such as like deer or children running across the road. Mr. Anthony Stanfield invented a form of limited memory machines that most of us use every day for a good portion of the day. They're called programmable logic devices, or PLDs, and they consist of many devices interconnected by a network. which allow them to store random data in a location that is readily accessible for a period of time before it gets cached out and basically deleted. We have a variation of these PLDs in our phones, laptops, and even our calculators. These limited memory devices allow us to pull data out of a memory storage for a certain period, which allow them to store data. Usually the logic devices get reset when the machine is turned off or loses power. Now that you know when you hit the button on your Tesla, its limited memory could potentially be dangerous. Did you feel any emotions when you sat back to relax and let artificial intelligence take the wheel? Literally? The theory of mind is the third form of artificial intelligence that we will cover, and one of the most complicated. Do you remember when Will Smith had to fight off an angry artificial intelligent being on the motion picture I, Robot? Considering the theory of mind, most of the robots were set on task and couldn't break the code written for them by the programmers. However, there was that one robot that was able to cognitively break the barriers of its codes and act however seemed fit. This is where humanity has its doubts on living with these robots or artificial beings and never knowing if the code is going to be overwritten by the machine. The theory of mind is the reason humanity was able to settle major conflicts of interest, such as World War I and II, for example. This theory is the ability to predict emotions and motives or intentions of our fellow men and being able to walk on eggshells if necessary. Artificial intelligent beings, they'll need to be able to change behaviors based on the peoples, animals, and objects they encounter. And if they woke up on the wrong side of the bed, they have to act differently than if they were in a good mood. A little quote from The Water Boy. My mama always says, alligators are so ornery because they have all them teeth but no toothbrush. The last category of artificial intelligence is very closely related to the theory of mind and has to do with emotions and being aware of our surroundings. Having self-awareness is basically saying you are conscious of not only yourself but of your surroundings as well. We make a conscious decision all day, every day. It's the difference between thinking, I want an ice cream cone right now because I'm dying of heat, to thinking, maybe I should get a water because I'm dehydrated. I'm not sweating as much as I probably should. Even though it might not seem like that big of a contemplation to us, that's the difference between being self-aware and capable of furthering our knowledge and being constrained by software developers. Our world isn't even close to being able to create self-aware machines yet. To build artificially intelligent conscious beings, we first need to understand various major components like how to create memory and how are we going to create that memory so it can be read and written simultaneously. For these robots or other conscious beings to coexist with us, the ability to learn based on personal experiences and experiences of others has to be required. So basically, to summarize this brief overview of the categories of artificial intelligence, we have come a long way since the 1950s when the first interconnected network was created. However, we have self-propelled vacuums that learn the layout of your house, and they know not to go down your stairs, stuff like that. We're still nowhere near the theory of mind stage of artificial intelligence, let alone the self-awareness. So to conclude, I have brushed over the four major categories of artificial intelligence, including IBM's professional chess player Deep Blue, Tesla's nerve-wrackingly advanced limited memory vehicles, iRobot's artificially intelligent being who developed the theory of mind resulting in bloodshed and disobeying orders. Lastly, to the final and unreached category of self-awareness. So the next time surfing the web or looking at your emails, try to figure out what category the search suggestions that you're getting or what kind of machine it requires for Google to sort your Gmail and put the unneeded emails in spam. You just got to think about that. I mean, even when you say, okay, Google, it's going through a bunch of different tasks. It's able to tell you who's on the road, what the traffic's like, what your ETA is, closest gas station, movie times. It can basically have a conversation with you if you wanted it to. Artificial intelligence plays a big role in our lives now. We'll just have to see how it goes in the next 20 years. Thanks.